This video I'm gonna share my view and opinion on Bolo Yeung. This was a video request by one of the supporters of FMK. Um, I don't know much about him at all. All I know is that he was in Enter the Dragon, and he's a very stocky, or he was a very stocky Asian or Chinese actor, like very big up top, big chest. He's known for his huge chest, and known to be a strong guy, especially for a Chinese guy. You don't see that many Chinese guys that big, with that much muscle mass. Um, and I've heard that he's been in a few movies with Jean-Claude Van Damme, and I've heard he had some of his own movies made that were very low budget, low quality. As far as my view on him as whether or not he's a real martial artist, once again, I'm gonna state that I don't think he's nothing special. Um, he doesn't have the charisma, doesn't have the wisdom, doesn't have the technique, doesn't even have the fitness of what I would see to be representing a real martial artist. He's just somebody that's playing an actor's role, and he'll play whatever role he needs to play to make money. You know what I mean? Even if he's more capable than the person that's starring in the film, he'll still agree to fight him and lose to him because he is more concerned about making that money. He's not the type of person that's going to be in a position where he's going to call the shots and be like, no, I'm going to be the one that coming out on the top of this fight, and I'm going to be representing a higher level in the martial arts. He's not that type. He's more of the supporting role that's going to make the star of the movie look better. Somebody that's, just like, playing the villain in Bloodsport, playing the villain in Enter the Dragon. He's playing that villain in a very good way, but he's not at that level of, like, clearly not even close to being at the level of, like, what Bruce Lee would represent, or Jet Li, or Tony Jaa. He's just more of a very good supporting role, willing to take the enemy role, willing to take the losing role, to better exemplify the skills and talents of the star of the movie, which is respectable, but at the same time, it pretty much he pretty much devalues himself, and once you play that role, you're never going to be able to play the opposite role of where now you're supposed to be the number one person in a world or whatever, because you already played the role where you are the main villain, the main loser. You're not going to be able to flip-flop like that, because then it clearly shows that you're not being real with your expression. So for example, Bruce Lee, before he got famous, they tried to get him to lose in a fight to Robin in Batman and Robin, but he refused to. He stood up against that, be like, no, I'm not going to allow that to happen. He didn't put his reputation on the line just to make a few dollars. He didn't put his reputation down like that. But Bolo Yeung is willing to put down his reputation for whatever money you give him. So he's just more of somebody. People could credit him for being modest for doing so, but at the same token, like I stated, once you allow yourself to play all these roles where you are losing in the fight and representing the enemy in the film, you're pretty much portraying to the public that you're not at that level of being like the number one or one of the top people in the martial arts. You already gave that up when you play those roles. As far as fitness level is concerned, he's more of a bodybuilder type. He's not built like a martial artist. He's built like a bodybuilder. Just too heavy up top, too much muscle mass floating around, slowing him down. He doesn't have the body type of a martial artist. He can't move and have the agility and have the speed and have the balanced development that a martial artist needs. He's too overly muscular, and that's another thing that's not representing the martial arts, his body physique and his development. Another factor is his technique is nothing special. Nothing that stands out great. And then spiritually, I mean, look at the movies he's playing in. Is he putting any effort towards helping people head towards wisdom? No. You know, he's just playing the villain in these action movies and just making money. So he's not a true martial artist to me. Not even close. Van Damme's not even close. Wesley Snipes is not even close. None of those people are even close. Chuck Norris is not there. Um, but that's my view on him, based on the information that I know.